Okay, class, in this lesson, I am going to show you how to convert an equation from standard form to slope-intercept form. So the standard form of an equation looks like this. ax plus by is equal to c. Okay? Now, we want to know how to convert this to slope-intercept form, which is y is equal to mx plus b. Now, if you take a look at this equation, okay, both of these equations have the letter y. So to convert from standard form over to slope-intercept form, we are essentially solving for y. Okay? So let's go ahead and start with an example. Let's suppose we have an equation that looks like this. 2x plus 2y is equal to 4. Okay. Now, one question you might have is, why do we want to convert from standard form into slope-intercept form? Well, one reason is that when we convert into slope-intercept form, it makes it easier for us to graph the equation of this line. And the reason for that is because once you put it in slope-intercept form, we now have the slope and the y-intercept. Having both pieces of information makes graphing much simpler. Okay, so let's go ahead and convert this. So what we want to do is isolate this quantity, 2y, okay, by moving this 2x over to the other side of the equation. So to do that, we're going to subtract 2x from both sides. Okay, when we subtract, these cancel each other out. 2x minus 2x. Okay, then what we're left with is 2y is equal to 4 minus 2x. Okay, this quantity just comes down, and this quantity, which is a negative, comes down. Okay, so then what we have left is this coefficient 2. We want to reduce this to 1, okay, and we do that by dividing both sides of the equation by 2. Okay, so we're going to divide by 2, we're going to divide this by 2, and we're going to divide this by 2. Okay, so when we do that, these cancel out, they become 1y, or just y, and then we do the computation here. 4 divided by 2 is 2, and then minus 2x divided by 2. These 2's just cancel out. They just become 1, and what we're left is with x. Okay, now we want this in slope-intercept form, so we need to have y equals something x plus b. We need to have y equals something x, so we need to move this to this side, plus b, and move that over to that side. So then we get y is equal to negative x plus 2. Okay? All we did was we switched these around. So to convert from standard form to slope-intercept form, it's just basic algebra. Okay? Let's do one more example. Let's suppose we have an equation in standard form that looks like this. 2x minus 3y is equal to 6. Okay? I just threw in a negative in here to complicate the equation a little bit. So there are a number of ways to solve this. I'm going to show you one way that I think is the easiest. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I don't like to work with negative numbers. Okay, so I'm going to move this over to this side of the equation. Okay, and by doing that, or to do that, we're going to add 3y to both sides. So we're going to add 3y because that cancels each other out. Okay, so we add this together, we still have 2x, the 3y's cancel out because we have a negative 3y here and a positive 3y. So they cancel out. And then what we have left is equal to 6 plus 3y. Okay, makes it cleaner. Now there are no more negative numbers. Okay, I don't like working with negative numbers because when you have a negative number, it just adds one level of complication. Okay, so now what we want to do is move this 6 over to the other side of the equation because we just want y on one side of the equation. Okay, so I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. Subtract 6, subtract 6. What we get then is 2x minus 6 is equal to 3y. Okay, the 6 here cancel out. This is a positive 6 and a negative 6. They cancel out. Everything else just drops down. Okay, so now what we have left is this coefficient 3. We want to reduce this to 1. To do that, we have to divide both sides of the equation by 3. Okay, so we're going to divide by 3. We're going to divide everything by 3. Okay, when we do that, we're left with 2/3 x minus 2, because 6 divided by 3 is 2, and that is equal to just y. Okay, because 3 divided by 3 becomes 1. Okay, now you notice that everything's flipped around. Okay, well, because of the reflexive property, we can move everything back to where they need to be. In other words, this is now equal to y. This is now y equal to 2/3 x minus 2. Okay, all I did was I moved this over to this side, and then I moved this quantity to this side. Okay, it's a mirror image. Now we have this equation in y equals mx plus b form. Okay, where the slope is equal to 2/3 and my y-intercept b is -2. Okay, hopefully that was pretty straightforward. If any of this was not clear, please go back to the beginning of the recording and review this again. Thank you.